Well, Craigavon was built in the 60s with a dream to be this new and exciting city, but quickly that dream became a nightmare and Craigavon became a city of failure, the failed city. Out of that then, Craigavon became a bit of a no man's land, and in the 70s came a hotspot for the Troubles, and so out of all that became, Craigavon then faced a lot of complex needs, which we still see today, which are things like deprivation and poverty, high suicide rates, high levels of organised crime, antisocial behaviour, a struggling education system. Craigavon is known as the fatherless town because there's a high level of young people who don't have a relationship with their dad. And so the needs are complex, they're vast, and out of them things I've just listed brings a whole range of issues that young people face in our area. Craigavon YFC came about in 2017. My wife and I were moving into Craigavon to plant the church, and Youth for Christ approached me and asked if I would pioneer a new YFC centre in the area. So someone who's just come out of a youth work degree, I sort of jumped at the chance because at that time I was trying to get a job in a local supermarket, so it was good timing. And so in 2017 I was employed to come to Craigavon to pioneer a centre on a part-time contract with a very low budget and no young people, and so starting essentially from scratch. And so initially a lot of prayer walking that I felt like was maybe aimless at the time, but it's all I knew, it's all I could think of what to do. And so we started the prayer walk, we started to get into schools, and then just I think from then we started to build relationships with young people on the streets and start drop-ins and different programs. But we didn't get this centre until 2021, and we done a fundraiser. Then I felt God really break my heart for the place that we're in now, which is called Craigavon, which is one of the most deprived areas in the country, not just in Craigavon, but in the country. And so what better place to put a centre? And it took a while to get the centre up and running. We got it in 2021, but we didn't officially open until last year because of loads of a wide range of reasons. We done a massive fundraiser in 2021 where we raised £40,000 to renovate a centre and to pay for some rent. But with the cost of living crisis and things going up and out of control, it was hard to do that at the pace we wanted to. So we officially opened last year, and currently we are working with in and around 80 young people. But we run a wide range of programmes from drop-ins from after-school drop-ins to evening drop-ins. We run schools, lads and girls groups where we take the groups separately and explore different issues that face young lads and different issues that face young girls. Mostly around behaviour problems, risk-taking behaviour. Usually the young people that we get in our classes are on the margins or struggling to engage in education. Are probably the most at-risk and vulnerable young people in our community, and the school trust us with them and to work with them alongside them, and to get them to a point where they can engage again in their education, but also to help them figure out all the issues that they're facing. Well, recently we've started to become a contact centre for some of our young people who may be in care, and so we've become a contact centre between them and their parents, which is really exciting. And then on top of all that, we do loads of one-to-one work. I suppose we work with some of the most vulnerable and at-risk young people in our community, and so a lot of that takes a lot of intentional one-to-one work with these individuals to help them, I suppose, just find their feet. One of the programmes we've run in the past is a programme for young dads. It came about because there was a handful of our young lads who were expecting their first child, and so at the same time my wife was expecting our first child, and so I decided I'd run a dads programme together to try and probably all figure out at the same time. But with these young people, they were young, some of them were engaging in very risky behaviour, their lifestyles were very questionable, and this one particular guy was selling drugs and going down a path that it was probably going to be hard to come back from. But we worked closely with them, and we started that programme in 2020, and so currently he's got a full-time job. He's no longer selling drugs. He's still with his partner and he is a fantastic dad. And this is just one example of how we are responding to the needs in our community, especially whenever this Craigavon's known as a fatherless town. We want to equip young dads and new dads and whatever age dads to really be present fathers and to really, I suppose, rewrite the story of that narrative that has plagued Craigavon for decades. We ran a programme to try and tackle some of the young people's behaviour issues, and I had a group of boys who would come round to the centre the last 2 periods of the day, and we'd go through different issues that they're facing, building resilience, the dangers of risk-taking behaviour, all that sort of stuff. And really even just to get them to think about the consequences of their action, and so how their behaviour affects them, how it affects their family, how it affects other people in the class and even the school, to try and really get them to re-engage with their education. And that was, we actually started a few years ago, but last year was the most consistent with this particular group. And this year, 2 of the young lads in the groups, 2 of their names were put forward to become prefects of the year because the school had seen a massive transformation in them. Behaviour wasn't perfect, but I just recognised leadership qualities in them amongst their peers. And again, that's just another example of how we're trying to address these needs, that some of these young lads and these young people just need someone just to believe in them and to give them a chance. So yeah, we're just really thankful for everyone who has prayed, everyone who has donated money, everyone who has given up their time and their resources to make this happen. Our hearts overflow with thankfulness. We couldn't do what we do without the support of the local people and the local church and the local businesses, and so we really appreciate you, and most of all we are thankful to God. It is an honour to be where we are. I'm thankful that I get the honour to work with these incredible young people in this incredible community, and we're thankful that God has just had his hand on us and YFC in Craigavon, as we have ventured from praying in the middle of the streets without knowing what we're doing to being in the heart of a community that we love in our very own youth centre. So yeah, we are incredibly thankful.